Fellow Southern Cameroonians, I'm here once more to exchange with you, to share with you ideas on our struggle. It is true that the events of the past few days will make people start wondering whether it's going to be possible for us to continue to face the enemy as a united front. But the message I bring to you, and I've told you this before, that even the children of Israel were not totally as united as you want us to be united before they got into the promised land, before Moses took them across the Red Sea. We are bound to have our own share of problems. But the good news is that the focus from all the messages I have seen, from all the discussions on social media, is that we are all still prepared to get into Buea. The differences we may have only turn around how we get there. But like I've said before, and I'll repeat it here, let us remain focused on the struggle. We should ignore distractions. Take note that the opponent is not sleeping. The opponent will do everything to see us in a turmoil. The opponent will do everything to see us fighting against ourselves. It is true that at the approach of major challenges, we have seen this kind of distractions come, but we must continue to ignore the distractions. Remain focused. Remain focused. Look at the bigger objective. We should keep telling ourselves the main thing we have to do is to go to Buea, and to Buea we will go. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, we are confronted with a new kind of challenge. The new form of challenge we are confronted with is the mutating nature of Yaounde's operations on our territory. You must have observed that recently the government has moved from mass arrests with people in uniforms to now using mercenaries, let me say mercenaries virtually, to abduct people, to capture people, and to take them to unknown destinations. I know there is a lot of fear in the hearts and minds of our people that when they send plainclothes individuals to come use all sorts of tactics, shock, and then grab, and then put in vehicles without any immatriculations, and then carry the people to unknown destinations, and you start moving from one gendarmerie cell or police cell to the other and not seeing your loved one, you are bound to crack. But I must remind you that this is one provocation too much, meant to make us go out of our comfort zones of the desire to keep this struggle peaceful, so that we should rise up, so that we should pick arms. I am not going to tell you today that buy guns. I'm not going to tell you today that carry machetes around. The message I'm bringing to you today is that we have to be each other's keeper. This thing started in Douala, where our brother, Comrade Fomuki Fabian, when I say comrade, it's just a way of talking, because I don't know whether he was even involved in this struggle. I don't know whether he was even part of this struggle. I don't know whether he was even one of those who were reasoning how we get to Buea. This is an innocent citizen of the United States of America who went to do his common business in Cameroon, and he was abducted in front of Jikam Residence Hotel in Douala. Today, I have sources in Yaounde that have confirmed to me that he has finally been seen at the judiciary police. Now, why would the government operate this way? Why don't you send people in uniform who come and arrest legally, so that those who are around know this man has been taken by government forces, and they should say exactly where he's been taken to, so that the people, his lawyers, should be able to come there and talk to him. If you wanted to know, or if you were doubting that this government is not gangsteric, if you were doubting that this is not a terrorist regime we are dealing with, that is clear evidence. Fabian is an American citizen. If they can do that to an American citizen, then just imagine what they are doing to common unarmed Southern Cameroonians. They have done the same thing in Bamenda. About 4 incidents have already been reported in Bamenda, and the latest one happened around EcoBank Bamenda on Commercial Avenue, where someone was abducted in the same fashion. So what do I want? How should we do? What exactly should we take as an approach to this kind of situations? I'm calling on each and every one of us in Southern Cameroon. It is happening in Bamenda. It has not yet happened in Buea, but it will come there. It will happen in Kumba. It will happen in Limbe. It will happen in Mutengene. It will happen in Mamfe, everywhere. So all of you, beginning from today, go out there and buy whistles. Let every Southern Cameroonian own a whistle. Own a whistle, each and every one of you. You must be your brother's keeper. So that as soon as you identify that these evil people are around to perpetrate this kind of terrible actions, start sounding your whistle. And when you hear one person sounding the whistle, all of you take out your whistles and blow them so that the whole area will be surrounded. Cover it all and protect your people. Because when you come out, when you start sounding whistles and there is a commotion all over the place, you block all the roads. The vehicles that are carrying these people in will be blocked, and you'll be able to uncover these evil people behind these evil actions. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, we must not forget that we are up against people who are ready to go all the way, who are ready to go to every extent. They are ready to kill. They are ready to do any sort of evil you would imagine. Those of you who in your minds feel you can still negotiate with the devil, I'm sure this is an opportunity for you to realize that it is possible to operate self-defense, to put in place a self-defense mechanism in times of peaceful resistance without using guns. We have refused. We will not yield to the provocation from Yaoundé to get armed. Yaoundé is looking for evidence to pin down our brothers and sisters who are already arrested, abducted, and are in Konenge, whose cases are witnessing one adjournment to the other. I told you the last time I communicated that this government would adjourn the case over and over and over again because they want us to get tired. They want the situation in the Northwest and Southwest to get normalized so that they will take the opportunity to hand them the death sentence, to serve as an example that in no time, not even in the next 100 years, should anybody ever rise again to talk about the Anglophone problem. Should anybody ever rise again to talk about the Southern Cameroon's question? Should anybody ever rise again to talk about the restoration of the independence of the Southern Cameroons? But I want to tell you, if in the Foncha generation, they pushed it to the next generation, which is ours, in this generation, we can't make the mistake to be noted in history as people who also jumped and passed over a problem they could have resolved. Fellow Southern Cameroonians, take note, if you don't know, that when Prime Minister Foncha, who became Vice President of the Federal Republic of Cameroon and was also made Vice President of the CPDM party, when he resigned from the CPDM party and went back, it was because he faced a lot of frustrations. He sought and could not be able to meet President Paul Biya, who was the chairman of his party and he was the first national vice president. What happened? Foncha cracked into tears when he retired to Bamenda. And he said, Ahijo asked me, you say you will take your people out of this union. Where are the people? Are they with you? And he observed that the people had left him. Foncha, in the presence of Mr. Biya and other people, said, you have tortured us. You have disgraced us. You have maimed us psychologically. But I assure you, our children will fight for us. So do we want to face Foncha and all our forefathers who are already gone? No! We can't do that, God forbid. We have to rise to the occasion. That is why I'm calling on all of you to note that the government has embarked on massive appointments. That is a weapon Mr. Biya has. Divide and rule. They will appoint, take away some people from the Southwest and replace those people from the Northwest. Take away those from the Northwest and replace those from the Southwest. So that we should start looking at those toys and fighting over and saying, oh, they have cheated us. Those people, let me tell you, forget this. We deserve better. The last communication which I sent out to you, I reminded you that we deserve better. That is not what God has planned for us. That each time you settle for less than you deserve, you will go back with even less than you settled for. We must remain wise because we have to go all the way to Buea. I know a lot of you are asking yourself questions out there. What will happen in September? Or what will happen on October 1? These challenges must be met. But the only way we meet these challenges is that you yourself kill personal inertia. Get up from wherever you are. Go onto your computer. If you're not registered yet on the SCACOF website as a citizen, do today. If you have not contributed any money for this struggle, do today. The only way we can stand up to the September challenge is through action. The time for speeches and resolutions is over. This is the time for action. Please, wherever you are standing right now, ask yourself the question, how am I contributing to this struggle? Am I contributing only by criticizing? Am I contributing only by saying I cannot put my money into this thing because people will be eating it? Fellow brothers and sisters, rise to the occasion. Go out today. Put in your contribution. And I have said it, and I will repeat it, that before long, we will have to be telling you on a daily basis where we stand financially, because we have to move ahead. It is unacceptable that today we can hear that the funds, the treasury of Southern Cameroons, of the Southern Cameroons people fighting for freedom, wanting to restore their independence, has less than $50,000 inside there. That is unacceptable. It is happening because we want it to happen. It is happening because we are sitting in our corners. We want to be skeptical. You can't stand on the fence. We are in a revolution, for crying out loud. Get out there. Do the ultimate sacrifice. Everyone is sacrificing. The time has come for us to live up to the challenges that we must overcome. And I assure you, we must overcome these challenges. I remind you, we have to overcome these challenges because we have no choice. We are today between a forest of fire and the deep sea. What option will we take? Going back is unacceptable. Moving forward is the only thing we have to do. Late Martin Luther King said, when you are caught up in a situation like this, by every means, keep moving. I remember, he said, if you can't fly, walk, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't run, crawl. But by every means, keep moving. We of Southern Cameroons have to keep moving. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, in whichever sphere of life you are operating, bring in your contribution. Do not stand on the fence. This is not the time for anyone to stand on the fence. We have to go all the way. God has been with us throughout this struggle. God is still with us in this struggle. God will continue to be with us in this struggle. He will take us to the promised land. But all we need to do, we have to act like the Christians of old. Let us bring something that God will put his hands on to transform it, to take us to the promised land. Moses had his stick. He had his rod. And God used that rod to divide the Red Sea. Bring in your contributions to make this struggle move forward. So many of you say we have an opportunity now. Which opportunity should not be abandoned? What are you doing to make sure we don't abandon this opportunity? Let me take those of you who are Christians and who are Catholics to some of the words that came from God himself. Because the fields are white and the harvest are waiting. For those of you who know the song, it says, hark the voice of Jesus crying, who will go and work today. Fields are white and harvest waiting, who will bear the sheep away. Loud and strong the Master calleth, rich reward he offers thee, who will answer gladly saying, here am I, send me, send me. Here am I, Lord, send me, and I will go. Arise, and let us take the opportunity. God is with us.